Want to embrace the change in my life in every single way. I don't want life to pass me by. I want to be able to adapt to the things, to the way that things are changing, and I don't want every adjustment or every milestone or every shift in the atmosphere to be like a complete shock to me in my life. Like, what the heck is going on? And this wasn't supposed to be this way. And sometimes you gotta roll with the punches, do what needs to be done, accept things for what they are, learn how to keep it moving. Things are not going to not change because we don't know how to adapt to change. So hey, we have to come to the point where, listen, things may not be the way that we expect them to be all the time, and our plans may not go exactly the way that we want them to go, but life shows up and we have to do the best that we can do to adapt to the changes of life. So I guess that's the point that I am at in my life right now, is adapting to change, not forcing anything, just allowing things to be what they are, accepting things and people for who they are and what they are. I just want the best out of life for myself. So I have been prioritizing myself a lot lately, and I've gotten in the habit of prioritizing myself and my life, my health, my future, and all of those things. And I'm learning how to do what is best for me. So I'm here to spread messages of hope, peace, and love. So peace and love, kings and queens, and welcome. You have officially entered into a safe space to relax, love, laugh, learn, and be free. So if you are open and willing to do all of those things right here, just sit down, relax, laugh a little bit, learn a little bit, whatever you seek to receive out of this week's life lesson. I hope that you get it over 10 times fold, even more than you expect to get out of it. So I do recognize that a lot of people do get a lot from these life lessons, and you encourage me, you push me to continue to do more and more and more. I don't care if it was one person or 100 people. If one person can say, this is helping me, and I am so glad that crazy lady jumped on her social media platforms looking crazy, talking crazy, and acting crazy, and sharing her testimony about the things that God has done for her life. I don't want to keep these things all to myself, because I never know what difference this is making in someone else's life. So I don't care if it's one person. It has been times where I have gone to do in-person speaking. That has been my reality for a long time before I even jumped on these social media platforms to relay these messages. And I have gone out to speak, and there's literally one person sitting there looking at me, listening to me, and being encouraged by my message. And I will sit there and talk to that one person. So you never know. I'm just grateful to be able to have the courage and ability and the mental capacity. Like, some people have a testimony and they don't know how to share their testimony. They don't know how to some people don't even want to. Some people don't want to use their testimony to help change other people's lives. But if I'm not going to do this with it, then what am I going to do with it? I can't keep my testimony all to myself. So I am willing and able to share these messages. Like I said, the things that God has allowed me to make it through. And I really honestly never know whose life may be affected through my testimony. So I refuse to sit on it. I'm not going to sit on my testimony. I'm going to tell y'all. I don't care if y'all feel like hearing it or not. So welcome. This is a judgment-free zone. The only rule is good vibes only. Don't come on here with no bad vibes, with no crying and complaining. Listen, I'm not complaining. And I done been through some stuff, okay? And continue continuing to push through the things that God is allowing me to push through. And I refuse to get on here and complain about anything, because God woke me up this morning and I'm still blessed. I am still blessed. I am more blessed than I have to be. God owes me nothing and continues to give me everything on the continuous basis. So I dare not sit up here and complain and come on here with bad vibes and who shot John and who didn't do what and who did what. None of that matters. The only thing that I can allow myself to be consumed in is how blessed I am, because I am so grateful for my blessings. So of course, for those of you who are familiar with tuning into my life lessons, that is how I like to start off my life lessons before I jump in to my life lessons with moments of gratitude. Excuse me. So every day is a new opportunity with a new chance at life and new hope. So let us take advantage of this opportunity to be grateful. So in these moments, I like to close my eyes, take a couple deep breaths, and just think about the things that I am mostly grateful for. It lifts your vibrations. It allows you to get in a better mood. I want you to be open and receptive to this message that I am getting ready to deliver to you guys, and you're not going to want to be able to receive it if you just don't feel right within yourself. I mean, you might be here and you might be present, but the way that you receive these messages matters as well. The way that I deliver these messages matters as well. So I want to be in a good mood. I want you to be in a good mood. I want you to think about the things. If you have not thought about the things that you have to be grateful for today, I want you to take these opportunities to think about the things that you are mostly grateful for today, what God has done for you. Just being grateful in these moments. This is not a religious ritual or anything like that. I am not a religious person, but I love to be connected to the source of all of my blessings. I am not the giver of my own blessings. I know that there is a source that I have to tap in to continue to be blessed on the regular basis, and I am not going to deny myself the gift of allowing myself to be grateful. Gratefulness is a gift. I'd rather have gratefulness more than anything. I want to be able to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It does so much more for me when I take the time out to be grateful for the things that I am blessed with on a regular basis. God is going to be God, and God is going to be glorified, and God is going to bless who he's going to bless anyway. He's going to bless the good ones as well as he blessed the bad ones, but it does something for us personally. It's not doing something for God. It's literally doing something for you when you allow yourself to be consumed in gratefulness on the regular basis. There's so much to be said about learning how to be grateful. It seems like every time that I dive into one of these lessons and I begin to do my studies, and I just go from different topics ranging from anything from joy, peace. Now I am on this is, well, okay, all right, I'm not gonna tell y'all the topic that I'm speaking on just yet, but I am on a streak of feel good messages, what I like to call feel good messages, and all of these messages always stems back to learning how to be grateful on a regular basis, and that's with almost every topic that I dive into. And I said, they're gonna get sick of me talking about learning how to be grateful. If you want to do this, you gotta learn how to be grateful. If you want to do that, you gotta learn how to be grateful. I'm not making these things up. Like, gratitude is a major part of life, period. And gratitude is it's an emotion, and a lot of people don't, it's the least favorite emotion amongst human beings. Let me say that. And I'm like, why? We don't express gratitude towards one another as much as we should. We don't express gratitude to our higher power as much as we should. So we just need to learn how to be more grateful humans. So if we learn how to incorporate gratitude in our lives a little bit more, it might just make our lives a lot easier. And I can honestly say that because for myself personally, I wake up in the spirit of gratitude every single day before I do anything. When I say my prayers, before I ask God for anything, I will thank God for everything. And I just go down the list of things that I have to be grateful for every single day. And it puts me in such a good mood every single day. It changed the patterns of my days. I have never experienced such wonderful days in my entire life. I just turned 44 years old, and I never lived such a fulfilling life the way that I do now. I used to allow so many things to bring me down, bring my spirit down, always find things to complain about. Nothing is never perfect, and this is going on and that's going on, and it seems like I'm not able to get a grip on life. But when I begin to incorporate gratitude in my life on a regular basis, it seems like none of that even matters because I have so much to be grateful for. So it's just a different life when you allow yourself to be consumed in gratitude every single day. And I know that that plays a big part in it because it's a learned behavior. I taught myself how to be more grateful over the years, and it allows me to live a more fulfilling and pleasing life because I am pointing out and recognizing the things that I have to be grateful for on the regular basis. So listen, I don't care if y'all like it or not. This is just what I do. Before I jump into my topics, I'm going to take a couple moments. Yes, of course, I count my blessings every single day, but listen, I can count them again. I can count them multiple times. I can count them every second. And I'm quite sure that you have so much to be grateful for as well. Just as much many things that you have to complain about, you have 3 times as more things to be grateful for. It's just that we get in the habit to sometimes not acknowledging those things, and it becomes habit to complain and look at the negative part of our lives when we allow ourselves to not be grateful and just think about the things that that we have to complain about. So I mean, we make a habit of it and it becomes a part of us. So when we choose to do the opposite, it just gives us a much better and more fulfilling life. So that is what we are going to do right now. I am going to close my eyes. I love to close my eyes before I jump into moments of gratitude. I take a couple deep breaths. I relax my mind, relax my body, relax myself, just do away with all the negative emotions, things that, I may have to complain about. I am not negating the fact that we have to face real issues in life every single day. I am a real person. I have real issues. I go through real things just like everyone else. And still, despite of everything that I have to go through on the regular basis, I make a conscious decision in my mind to be grateful no matter what. So this is what we going to do. Let's get this out the way so we can get into this week's life lesson. Here we go. So that is it, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this week's life lesson. And Yeah, like I always get so much out of I do. I always get so much out of just taking moments out to be grateful on the regular basis. Just really quickly, just kind of allowing yourself to be consumed in gratitude and things that you have to be grateful for. So here we go. So like I said, I have been on this streak of feel good messages, and today's topic is happiness. I am so grateful that God placed it in my heart to deliver a message on happiness. And literally, I wanted to deliver this message on happiness last week, but of course I was sick last week and I couldn't deliver a life lesson at all. But since God placed this message of happiness, I was having a conversation with my daughter, and my daughter is like the most hardworking 17-year-old. She just became a junior in high school. She works so hard, just got accepted into the National Honor Society. She amazes me every single day. She loves God. She studies the Bible. She has made honor roll since she been in high school. So we were talking about, she was feeling kind of overwhelmed, and I always tell her, listen, don't be too hard on yourself. Like, you're such, sometimes she can be like an overachiever. I'm like, who kids is this? Because baby, I was not like that when I was in high school. But like I said, she does make me very proud. And just having a conversation with my child, and she was saying that what the real importance of happiness was, and the way that she worded it, it just really blessed my spirit. Like, she's saying she's not going to find happiness. And I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, because a lot of these things I already have in my notes. But she was saying where she feels as though where she can find true happiness within herself. So I said, I just want you to like take it easy on yourself, and just not be too hard on yourself. If you really want to be happy, it is not about overachieving all the time. I mean, I'm so proud of the fact that she is such a hard worker, but I just don't like when she's just too hard on herself. So just having that conversation, I was like, oh, wow, I'm going to put that, I'm going to make that my next life lesson. But even before I had that conversation with her, sometimes I'm just not very obedient to the Holy Spirit. But God placed it in my spirit so many times, like happiness, happiness, happiness. I'm like, these people don't want to hear about happiness, because I know in all reality, some people are so far-fetched from experiencing the happiness that they truly want to experience on a regular basis. And when you are so far away from being where you want to be, and there's just like so many different things that is demanding so much of you on a regular basis, and you're like, how the heck am I going to be happy when I have to be this, and I have to be that, and I have to be here, and I have to be there? Like, happiness ain't even on the list right now. Listen, I get it. I cannot honestly say that that is where I am, because I have gotten in the habit of prioritizing my happiness for quite some time, and that is such an amazing place to be. So we're going to talk about happiness today. Let's get into some happiness, no matter where you are as far as your happiness is concerned. We're going to get into some happiness anyway, because we all should get to a place where we are making room for happiness in our lives. I want to say it without saying it, because I don't want to give up too much of my life lesson. So here we go. Let's get into it. Let's get right on ahead into it. So what is happiness? Happiness is more than just a feeling and an emotion. It is a state of mind. Happiness is more than just a feeling and an emotion. It is a state of mind. So that gives me, like, it makes me think like it's not just a temporary thing. Like, we can feel this way. Feelings come and go. You can be sad one minute, happy the next minute. But happiness is something that we should want to linger on in our spirit, in our life, in our emotions. We want it to go with us wherever we go. We want our happiness to be there with us. We want to be able to have control over our own happiness, not allowing other people to control how happy we are or how unhappy we are. We want our happiness to be in our hands no matter what life approaches us with. We want to be able to be happy at all times. And I know that sounds easier said than done because we go through some real life stuff. Like, life shows up, life happens, and the situation don't always call for us being happy all the time. Trust me, I get it. I know. I was very sick. Over the past, I want to say over 2 weeks. They told me I had pneumonia in my lungs, and I just don't even want to get into the details of any of it, but it was painful. It was uncomfortable. And all I could do was laugh. Like, I'm just so silly. Like, I just laughed and laughed and laughed over the past few weeks. I feel like the enemy was like trying to attack my life, and I was like, nah. I'm like, whether the enemy is trying to attack my life or not, God already has a strong hold on my life. So ain't nothing the enemy can do with me anyway. So, I just don't even give the enemy that much power over my mind to think like, you sending people and negativity and all these type of things that's making me feel like my life is under attack and situations and all of that. And I was just thinking about it today. And I was like, why was I laughing so much in the past couple weeks? And laughter is healthy for your soul. So, and I'm just silly anyway. Like, I just laugh about dumb stuff all the time anyway. But I just found myself just like full of joy and full of laughter these past few weeks, and I really didn't even recognize it until I was thinking about it today, and even during this study. And I was like, I'm so glad that I made room in my life for laughter, because if I had not, I could have allowed these attacks to overpower me mentally. And it's already bad enough that I'm going through things that I don't have much power over physically, but the things that I do have power over is my mind and the way that I feel on the regular basis. And emotionally and mentally, I will not allow the things that I'm going through to bring me down. So I chose laughter. Yes, I did. I chose laughter over the past few weeks. And I wore yellow today. Let me just tell y'all, I just threw on my yellow today because yellow, I love yellow. I look good in it. And yellow is my happy color, and I just love to feel happy anyway. But yes, so we're gonna keep getting into it. Yes, it's not just a feeling, it's an emotion, and it's a state of mind, and it is what we do and how we choose to behave on a moment-to-moment basis. And you can tell by the actions of certain individuals, by the things that they do and the way that they behave on a moment to moment basis, that some people are just not happy. And you can tell they probably don't even realize how much they are projecting unhappy behaviors from themselves, but you can just tell by the way that certain people act and the things that they do, and sometimes even the things that they say, like, you just miserable. And that is just the reality of so many people, because if you were happy, you wouldn't do or say some of the things that you do and say. Happy people have happy actions. They don't act like that. They don't say those things. They don't hate on people. They're not mean to people just because, they feel like being mean. You being mean to people because you're miserable and you want people to feel the way that you feel. Misery loves company. There's so much truth in that. So yes, our happiness, the way that we behave, really shows how happy we are. So if you want to if you want to be happier, you're going to have to change your behavior. First of all, it's going to start in your mind. You're going to have to change your mindset so you can behave in a way that is going to make you happier, because the more that you act out in these hateful ways and these negative ways, the more unhappier that you're going to be. Just like the more the happy people behave in happy ways, the more happier we are going to be. We're acting happy. We think happy. We do happy things. We think happy thoughts. We behave in happy ways. So it shows. One thing has an effect on another, which ultimately has an effect on you. The picture that you present to this world. You just seem to be just not a very happy individual. Sometimes you can look at certain people and tell that they are not very happy individuals. So, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. You know how happy you are and how happy you are not. You know how much you show how miserable of a person that you can be. You know your actions. You know the words that you speak to other people, to different people. You know if you have a positive attitude. You know if you have a negative attitude. You know if you can be encouraging or if you can be discouraging. You know if you can be mean and nasty. You know if you can be nice. And all of that really goes to show what is going on inside of you internally. So an unhappy person don't necessarily have to say, knock knock, I'm miserable, but it's written all over your face anyway because of your behavior. Is what you are going through internally is written all over your life because of the way that you act, because that dark cloud is predominantly hanging over your life. You can tell by looking at certain people that they are not very happy individuals. You are unhappy and it shows. So, knock knock, news flash. For those of you who don't really didn't know that, I'm telling you right now, for the people who walk in misery on a regular basis, and I'm not making light of that because that is nothing to, I don't believe in picking on people or teasing people, but it just goes to show the amount of work that you are willing to do to work on your happiness. You got work to do and you just ain't doing it. You are too relaxed and laid back with the amount of happiness that you are purposeful about incorporating in your life. If you want to be happy, you have to do what it takes. It's not going to be given to you. You can't buy it at the store. You can't trade it in for a piece of gold. You got to do what you have to do to incorporate happiness in your own life. That's the only way you're going to get it. You can't get it from another person. We look for it in different places and different people. And when I find my perfect husband or when I find my perfect wife and my mate is supposed to make me happy, you're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to bring happiness to the table. A happy person and another happy person is going to make a happy relationship. Don't look for nobody else to make you happy. You're supposed to be happy when you get in that relationship. See, this is where we get it messed up at. And then when the other person is not fulfilling your happiness, what you expecting them to do, which is unfair to any other human being, to put that on them. I want you to make me happy. So you sitting there waiting for somebody else to make you happy. That's not fair to any human being. Make yourself happy. Y'all can make each other happy ultimately, but you got to be happy before you get in that relationship. Otherwise, it ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna be happy for long. You ain't gonna be happy because you coming in with the wrong expectations. You can expect another person to make you happy, but you gotta be able to make that person happy too. Y'all asking for too much. You're not doing enough to make yourself happy, but you want somebody else to make you happy. Why don't you allow yourself to become happy first? Bring happiness to the table, and then we can be happy together. Now everybody just happy. So, yes, it's a state of mind, a state of being, and I'm telling you, there's some grown people out here that's just acting out like children because they are not very happy. And you think people just because we not pointing it out and we not saying like, I'm not gonna say, especially to a grown person, I hate talking to grown people because you're grown, number one, and when you acting out. I'm not going to tell you what you're doing wrong. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't have said that to me. I'm not going to tell you that you were acting out with negative behaviors and your attitude is nasty and all of those type of things. I don't like talking to grown people because they grown. We are not children out here. When you doing things that are out of character, when you are doing things, and then when somebody react off of the energy that you are projecting, then they wrong. But when you doing things that you wouldn't necessarily appreciate somebody doing to you. So why you doing it to other people? Because you're miserable. Because you're miserable. So it is not easy to define happiness. It really truly isn't, because I think happiness kind of varies from person to person. Happiness is different from joy, but it stems from joy. So joy is maybe I'll do a message on joy. I never really got into joy before, but there is a distinct difference between happiness and joy is like the more in-depth emotion of happiness. So you will get happiness out of joy, but they're definitely two different things. And I know a lot of people say I would rather have joy than to be happy, and I think both emotions are amazing because they are both beautiful emotions. I mean, I wouldn't want to take one without the other. Of course, you want to have joy over your life, but you want to have happiness over your life too. Joy, happiness, peace, all of those things go hand in hand. Excuse me. So happiness is a habit. Happiness is a habit. It's something that we have to teach ourselves how to become over time. It's something that has to be practiced. It's something that has to be incorporated in your life every single day. We wake up in the morning and we wonder why we're not happy. Happiness is a choice. You have to choose to be happy every single day. If you are not making a conscious choice to be happy on the regular basis, it is not going to become your reality just because you want it to become your reality. You have to be very purposeful about it. You have to do something about it. You have to make a sound decision in your own mind that this is what I want for myself. And when you make that decision for yourself, you have to make it a habit. Even if it's one thing that you do on a regular basis. I'm going to do this for myself today because I know this is one thing that makes me happy. This small, it could be something small. I don't know. Examples of things that people can do on a regular basis to make themselves happy. You can sing your favorite song. I don't know. You can go for a walk. You can read your favorite scripture in the Word of God. You can talk to your favorite person on the phone. You can eat your favorite snack or prepare your favorite meal or watch your favorite TV show, read your favorite book. I don't know, something that that you can do to make you happy and just to make a habit out of it, even if it's like for 2 minutes during the day. I keep talking about this book that I read. It's called Atomic Habits. I think I listened to the audio book maybe like 10 times, but I just had the name of the author right, and right on the tip of my tongue. James Allen. Is it James Allen? I don't know. It may or may have not been James Allen. I listen to so many audiobooks, and I read books all the time, and I do have a lot of some of my favorite authors, but he's a good one. Who wrote Atomic Habits, and he just talks about just the minor details of our lives, some of the things that we get in the habit of doing that creates our life. Like, it molds our life into what it was, and sometimes we don't even realize just doing this one simple thing could mold your life into what it is. It can be putting I'm in the habit of putting my left shoe on before I put my right shoe on, or my right sock on before I put my left sock on. Just anything, or the way that you set your toothbrush on the counter before you put the toothpaste in it, before you brush your teeth, or the way you make a bowl of cereal, or whatever the things that we get in the habit of doing when we are preparing ourselves to go to work in the morning, or whatever the direction that we drive in on our way to work. Is atomic habits, and these small little habits can have a major impact on our life. And sometimes if we shift and I'm getting used to learning how to shift, allowing myself to do things differently from what I have gotten in the habit of doing it, because sometimes we do things purely because we have gotten in the habit of doing them. So like, happiness is a habit. If you do things on a regular basis that is going to make happiness a habit for you on a regular basis, that is one way that you are sure to experience happiness on a regular basis. Somebody looking at you like you crazy, like, why are you doing that? Because it makes me happy. Do things simply because that thing makes you happy on a regular basis. So happiness is a habit. We have to learn how to create the habits of happiness in our lives on a regular basis so it can become a part of our lives. Don't think you just go and wake up and be happy because you want to be happy. What are you doing to ensure a sense of happiness in your own life? So yes, happiness is a habit. Positive relationships are known to be the number one key to happiness. It keeps us happier, healthier, and helps us live longer. So I came across that fact during my study. Researchers have studied through and through and through that positive relationships keep us happier and even allows us to live longer. I like, wow. So you can't just be happier like by yourself. Like, I'm one person. Listen, I'm in a relationship now, I am. But I don't have a problem with being happy by myself. In fact, before I decided to settle down in a relationship, I was very happy alone. And I learned how to be happy with my own self, which I think is very important too. So I guess it don't even really have to be a romantic relationship. I assume that relationships, period, any kind of relationship, friendships, they say like social relationships, maybe in your community or the group of people that you hang around. I know there's like so many happy and positive things in my community that I really was engaging myself in before I was in my car accident in June, and life kind of just shifted around for me. So I don't like, socially interact as much as I used to, but doing things to kind of strengthen your relationships, social relationships, romantic relationships, maybe even family relationships. Those are things that keeps us happier longer and allows us to live longer. So I'm like, wow. Okay, well, that's awesome. That's great that that it is associated with that. And I guess maybe just studying people over the years revealed that fact. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to be in a romantic relationship and wanting to be happy and in a relationship with someone. But before I just kind of went off on y'all y'all a little bit about, bringing happiness to the table and allowing yourself to be happy even before you get into that relationship. So if you are not happy within yourself, don't try to bring nobody else into your misery. Just allow yourself to become happy with who you are and where you are, grateful for what you have, or doing whatever you have to do to work on your happiness on a regular basis before you try to, be in a relationship with somebody. Or even if it's not a romantic relationship, you don't want to bring misery with you anywhere that you go. I mean, of course your family loves you and they care about you, but they don't want to hear you crying and complaining about your issues all the time, because now you just seem to be just not very happy with where you are in life right now. And yes, we do go through things. I'm not minimizing the things that we go through on a regular basis, and the things that we go through probably does tend to take a toll on how happy we are on the regular basis. But we want to learn how to be happy anyway, because relationships play a vital role. Due to researchers study, relationships plays a huge role in the happiness of individuals. So yeah, we strengthening your relationships, your friendships, your family ships, working on yourself so you can be a good husband or a good wife, good boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever you want out of romance in life. Some people done with relationships. Hey, whatever floats your boat. You don't have to be in a loving relationship. So no matter where you are as far as your relationships are concerned, you want to be happy anyway. You want the people around you to be happy. You want to project happiness from yourself. You want to bring good vibrations when you walk into the room. You want to laugh. You want your smile to be contagious. You want to put a smile on someone else's face. You want people to be happy to see you coming, and you don't want to be like, oh Lord, here they come. They always complaining about something, always miserable about something. This such and such ain't never happy, and here they come. Like, you don't want to project that type of energy off of yourself. So happiness is always important to work on, even within your individual self, because it's going to play a major role of the happiness that you have with your relationships with other people. And that's any kind of relationship that you choose to have. So yes, it says positive relationships are known to be the number one key to happiness. Like, who knew? So we all want our relationships to be positive anyway. Any kind of relationship that we have in our life, we want it to be positive anyway. It says it is known to make us happier, healthier, and actually allows us to live longer. So I like, wow, I had to incorporate that in my notes. So the golden rule of happiness is that the more you make others happy, the happier you will be. The more you make others happy, the happier you will be. Try to make at least 3 people smile every day. Listen, we spread some happiness. We're going to spread some love, some joy, some peace, some happiness. That just makes me happy. It makes me happy to make other people happy anyway. So I don't know. I don't count the amount of people that I make happy on a regular basis. I know I have an amazing time when I interact with my children on a regular basis. We just laugh about dumb stuff and probably just say any stupid thing out of our mouth, and we can just go back and forth like that for hours. So that makes me happy. That makes them happy. Besides my children, those are the main people that I encounter with on the regular basis are my children. But other than that, I mean, I don't know how many people that I make happy or make smile on a regular basis. I would hope to be the type of person that will bring a smile to faces, to someone's face on a regular basis. And if I can do that opposed to the opposite, which a lot of people are known to bring bring a dark cloud into a room, I would want to put smiles on people's faces on a regular basis. I would want somebody to put a smile on my face. So that not only does something for the individual, but that does something for you as well. So during my study, I came across this fact is that the number one golden rule to your own happiness is making other people happy. Now, you want to put a you want to not allow yourself to be a people pleaser. You want to put a healthy barrier in between making people happy. You don't want to sacrifice your own happiness for the happiness of other people. And you don't want other people to take advantage of your happiness while you are steady trying to make other people happy. You don't want to trade in your happiness for someone else's happiness. Everybody should be happy here, okay? So maybe that's what I'm trying to say. You want to create a healthy barrier in between you being that person that brings sunshine to a cloudy day, and you know how to make people smile, laugh, bring joy, bring peace, or what have you. But you want to create a healthy barrier because every atmosphere or every person, doesn't deserve your happiness. Some people don't want it. Some people don't want it. You can walk in, you can come in happy and you smiling, you joyful and you feeling good, and then that one person just want to take your nerve and start plucking on it. So the people that you should be around and the people that you should not be around. So don't cross the line to being a people pleaser and allowing people to take your kindness for weakness because you like to be the type of person that puts a smile on people's faces. But don't let the negativity in other people to damp your joy. So if your happiness and your joy is not appreciated in one place, then you just pick your happy self up and take it somewhere else, and you can be happy on your merry little way and just be happy somewhere else with someone else. Someone is going to appreciate the type of person that you are as far as your happiness is concerned. So yes, make someone smile today. Put a smile on someone else's face, and that the happier you will be. I'm trying to help y'all today. This is ways that you can ensure a line of happiness for yourself. So try to make at least 3 people smile today. You probably did that already. I know I got a bunch of happy people up on here. Some of y'all might be happy, some of you might not be happy. But if you are not happy, I know you want to be happy because we all want to be happy. So there's a overwhelming amount of research that deems exercise as a vital key to happiness and well-being. I did not just make that up. This is studies from researchers that has researched and searched over and over and over again that exercising and keeping yourself healthy makes you happier. So I know a lot of us ain't trying to hear that. Like, you talk about exercising and physical activity and doing things like that. A lot of us are not there mentally. Like, we get exhausted thinking about exercising, and we want to be healthier so bad. Like, we want a better line of health, and we're setting these New Year. Listen, it's almost New Year's. We setting these New Year's resolutions for ourselves, but we don't feel like getting up in no gym. We don't feel like going for no walk. We don't feel like breaking no sweat. We just want to sit here and voila, become healthier. That's not going to make you happier. So if you want to become happier, then incorporate some type of physical activity in your life on a regular basis. So that's what it says. I came across, I did not just make that up. And I am a very physical, well, before my car accident, I was very physically active. I did yoga on Monday, Pilates on Tuesday. I worked out on Wednesday. I used to swim on Thursdays and Saturdays. On Saturdays, I worked out, went to work, and I swam. So I was very active. Saturdays is one of my most busiest days out of the week. I did Zumba on Fridays. I'm telling you, and I ran 4 miles on Sundays. This was like from Monday to Sunday, I kept myself physically very active, and it did make me happy. Even when I was tired, even when I didn't feel like it, I did it anyway. Once you get into that zone, you get it done, get it over with. Even if it's just like 1 hour, hour and a half of some kind of physical activity, it was always better to me than not doing anything at all. I see the difference that it made in my body. It made a difference in my mind. It built mentally, it made me healthier. So it wasn't just like making me healthier physically, but it did so much for me mentally. Now, well, now after my accident, so I am still in a recovery stage, and I can't, of course I can't do, my leg was badly injured due to my car accident, and I was expecting a much quicker recovery time than what I am experiencing right now, which is like a bummer because it seems like everything is setting me back. So I'm kind of weaning my way back into physical activity. So the most that I can do now is stretch and walk. So I'm not just like, it's nowhere near what I used to be as far as my physical fitness is concerned. I'm taking it easy on my body, trying to do a little bit of upper body. But I am going to have to take my time getting back into my physical activity. But, you know, just from being a person that was so physically active, I can say that there is a lot of truth in that, because studies show that it says the overwhelming amount of research deems that exercise is a vital key to happiness and well-being. So if you want to do something to make yourself happier, try to be more physically active. With New Year's right around the corner, us wanting to set New Year's resolutions for ourselves. I know so many people struggle with physical fitness. Do something every single day that is going to help you kind of push yourself to that limit. Be creative, you know, stretch, walk, do whatever you have to do for your body, and it is going to do something for your happiness as well. So happiness can cure emotional and mental ailments that medicine cannot. I also came across that during my study. Happiness can cure emotional and mental ailments that medication cannot. So just doing things to ensure your own happiness can mentally. A lot of people suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety and depression and all of those things that takes a toll on us mentally. And they try to give us medications and put us on pills, and you know, they want you to go see a psychiatrist. You can do something, meditate, pray, go for a walk, spend time in nature, exercise, all of these different things that is going to do things that medicine cannot do. It will help you heal. It will help you get over some of the hardships that you have to go through in life, and it's just going to overall the things, the habits that you incorporate in your life on a regular basis is going to make you a happier person. So those were just examples of a few things that we can do on the regular basis that is going to ultimately allow us to be happier emotionally and mentally. Who doesn't want that for themselves? Like, that just sounds amazing to me. I want to be emotionally stable. I want to be mentally stable. I don't want the things that I have to go through on a regular basis to take a toll on me emotionally and mentally, which happens so often. Just us as human beings, and have to deal with the things that we are approached with in life. Is just not always easy, and trust me, I get it. But we want to be able to take a hold of those things, and despite of everything, we want to be happy anyway. So just being happy can cure things that medicine cannot. They always try to put a prescription on it. Listen, I have not been to the doctor so much as from The time I got into my accident in June and it is the end of October, I'm like, Lord Jesus, I've never been to the doctor so much in my life. I got so many prescriptions and medications. I'm like, I'm not taking that. I don't want it. They told me I'll take this and the muscle relaxers and pain medication. And I'm just like, I got a drawer full of medicine. I don't know how to dispose of it, but I don't want to get used to any of those things. Whatever I can do in my power to ensure a better line of health for myself. Now I know every diagnosis is not calls for a natural home remedy or something that we have to do at home. A lot of us have no choice but to follow doctor's orders or whatever, but I'm always looking for the natural way. Listen, I went to the doctor, they told me I had pneumonia in my lungs. I was like, what's the natural remedy for it at home? She was like, well, I'm going to write you out these antibiotics. I was like, okay, but what's the natural remedy for it at home? She was like, I mean, it'll go away eventually, but I think you should take these antibiotics. I'm like, all right, I'm just all for what can I do for myself at home to take care of this, opposed to me getting used to being prescribed medications and all those type things. I know she looked at me like I was crazy. I asked her about 3 times, like, what can I do at home to get this pneumonia up out my lungs? She was like, it was only like 5 pills. I was like, all right, I'll take those 5 pills. But listen, I don't want to be get used to doing anything, like medically. I would love to just do whatever I can do in my power. And it's so often we don't do what we can do in our power, the things that we can do at home, and we allow it to get to the point where we have to be on medication or follow doctor's orders. We should follow doctor's orders anyway. I'm not discouraging anyone from following doctor's orders, but there are things that we could be doing for ourselves that we are just not doing. So tough times make strong people. Strong people make good times. Good times create happiness. So and I wrote that down because happiness can come from emotions like sadness, fear, and anger if we allow it to. So, sometimes we can think that the things that we have to grow through, I don't like to say go through, I like to say grow through. The things that we have to grow through in life, we seem to tend to think like, why is this happening to me? Maybe God is allowing you to go through the things that you have to grow through for a reason, to make you stronger, so you can enjoy the fullness of joy and peace and happiness that he wants you to the capacity that God wants you to experience this joy and peace and happiness on. So sometimes we have to go through it to get to it. Like, you wouldn't even know the true meaning of happiness if you didn't go through the things that you had to go through in life. So yes, tough times make strong people. So it's not always what happened to us. Sometimes we got to get a lesson out of it. Sometimes God wants us to learn our lesson now so we don't have to go through these things in our future. Sometimes we are just hard-headed. We don't want to listen to God. We want to try to do things our own way. We got to keep bumping our butts over and over and over again. And God is still sitting there like, I want to bless you. You're not listening, but just because you're not listening, I still want to bless you. And I still want to bless you. And I still want to bless you. So it's us. It ain't God. It's us. We have to learn the hard way, but sometimes we got to go through some stuff, and eventually some of us learn our lesson and allow God to bless us, because he's going to bless us anyway, because that's just how amazing God is. But yeah, we have to go through some things. We have to become tougher. We have to learn our lessons. And then ultimately, depending on how we respond to the circumstances of life, is how we experience the true fullness of happiness in our life. So being happy should be a goal for everyone. And that is just the reality of it. And I know a lot of people say that so often. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. You don't want to be happy. happy. You don't want to be happy, because if you wanted to be happy, you would be doing things on a regular basis to ensure happiness for yourself. If you wanted to be happy, you would make a conscious decision in your mind every single day when you wake up that I am going to be happy today. You think it's not possible, but it is. So what gets in the way of happiness? Let's talk about a few things that get in the way of happiness. So chasing after the wrong things in life can get in the way of happiness. True happiness does not lie in money, success, accolades, or fame. And so often we are chasing these things and thinking that that is where our happiness lies. And in all reality, your happiness is inside of you. You don't have to go nowhere. You don't have to study for. You don't have to work for. You don't have to pay for. You don't have to go to work to earn it. Anything like that. You do have to work for your happiness to earn your happiness, but you ain't gonna find it at nobody 9 to 5. Ain't nobody job. Going to rob the bank. Going robbing Peter to pay Paul, and all the conniving and scheming and lying and all these things people out here doing and stepping on other people to try to find happiness for themselves. Your happiness is internal. You're going to find it within you. You have some of the most richest, most famous, most successful, most educated people in this world that are still not happy. They are killing themselves. They are selling their souls to the enemy. They could buy the moon if they wanted to. They got so much doggone money, they don't even know what to do with it. Yet and still, these people are still not happy. That just goes to show that we are searching for happiness in all the wrong places. Your happiness is not going to rely on $1 million. If you hit the lottery right now, you think that's going to take all your suffering, all your pain away, and you just going to boom, become happier. Nope. You're going to be the same miserable son of a gun that you was yesterday, just with some money in your pocket now. Sorry, not sorry. Because if you're not happy, then you just not happy. And you're not going to find it in external things. Just like you're not going to find it in another person. You could find the most beautiful wife, the most beautiful husband. Somebody know how to love you. Somebody know how to treat you. But if you're not happy, you're not going to be happy with that person, because you're just not happy, period. It's not going to come from anything external at all. Your happiness is inside of you. But some people, happiness is buried deep down in them. Like it's trying to find its way out, and it can't find its way out because you won't allow it to. But yes, that is what was the question? What gets in the way of happiness? And chasing after the wrong thing, that is the answer to that question. Chasing after the wrong things in life gets in the way of true happiness. I know y'all gonna do it anyway. Y'all gonna go ahead, do whatever y'all gotta do. So many people, folk, they trade in their happiness for materialistic things. So now you got these flashy, shiny, pretty boob jobs and all this kind of stuff, and you doing it for the gram, but you still ain't happy. So now what you gonna do? Now what you gonna do? Now you done got all of this attention and views and likes and all of this type of stuff, and when you turn that camera off, you still not happy. Even with all the views and the likes and the comments and all this type of stuff, and you just doing it up for the gram. But when you turn that camera off, you still not happy, because you are not doing the work that it takes to be happy internally. And you are constantly searching for your happiness in all the wrong places. So when is that light bulb going to switch inside your head, like, okay, now I'm doing this for happiness or for joy or for pleasure, and it's still not working, or it's just temporary. So now what? Now what am I going to do? Because what I'm doing is just not making me happy. So you got to come to a point where, like, it make sense. Like, maybe if I do what it really requires to make me happy, then maybe I can stick with those things, and I can really genuinely be happy. I can put a smiley face on my heart and smile from the inside, because that's how happy I am. I don't just have to get in front of people and put a mask on and act like I'm happy. I want to really be happy. So a lot of people chase after happiness in the wrong ways. That's why happiness is not popular. There are not very many people that can honestly say that they are truly happy today. I'm not saying that no one is happy. I'm happy. By the grace of God, I would rather be happy. I'm so glad that I found happiness within myself, and that I am a happy person, period. I have learned how to be happy over the years, and it takes practice, and it took work. It took me a long time. Somebody was like questioning my happiness, and they like, I never hear you complain about things, and you just not talking about the things that bother you. It's not that I'm not talking about the things that bother me. It's just that I am more blessed than anything. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about, my issues and the things that I have going on, and I'm not ignoring it and living on la la land on cotton candy clouds and or whatever people think that I'm living on. I am genuinely happy, and the blessings shine over my life. Like, I can't ignore my blessings just because I have things that I can complain about on a regular basis, but I choose not to, because I'm very blessed. Like, it's noticeable how blessed I am. Like, how can I not acknowledge how blessed I am? So when you ask me how I'm doing, and I say I'm doing fine, like, sometimes, like, people ask me on a regular basis, some people ask me, how's your day going, or how was your day today? And the majority of my days are truly amazing. I have some really amazing days, and I kind of like shy away from saying that sometimes, because I don't know, maybe sometimes people think I'm lying, like, your day is amazing. They be like, my day okay, or somebody might say their day was good, or their day was okay, but my days be really amazing. Like, God shows up in my life on a regular basis in some miraculous ways, and I'd be like, wow, through people, things, like the way that people show up in my life, and just things that might be minor to you is like a miracle to me. I'm like, wow, God, you did not have to allow me to be so blessed. So that's what makes my day so amazing on a regular basis, and I'm purposeful about that. I feel good when I wake up in the morning. I want to. And if I'm not feeling my greatest, I'm like, no, we got to shift this energy a little bit, boo-boo, because I don't want that to precede me. I don't want to walk into negative energy throughout my day, because I want to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I want to wake up on the right side of the bed every single day. So I'm purposeful about having amazing days every single day, not 3 out of 7 days out the week, not 5 out of 7 days. I'm talking about 7 out of the 7 days of every week. I want to have a truly amazing day, and I make that purposeful about myself. I feel good even when I'm not feeling good, and that's just how I want to be. Like, that's a decision that I make for myself. So I know that everybody is not there, and everybody, I probably don't even know where to begin to allow that to become their reality, but it takes practice. You have to be mindful about making the decision to be happy every single day, and happiness is a choice that I make every single day. So our happiness is more obtainable than we realize. And it just is. Our happiness is way more obtainable than we realize. Some people might think that their happiness is so far away. Like it's going to take so much for me to be happy. And when I get this out the way, I can be happy. Or when whatever. Like people just put their happiness on a back burner for later. Like, what if that chance never comes? I'm not the type of person that wants to prolong my happiness. I want to be happy now. I do. Like, this is the decision that I make for myself on a constant basis. I don't want to wait until I find a perfect mate or hit the lottery or whatever. My kids to be perfect. Them knuckleheads ain't gonna never be perfect. They gonna always get on my nerves. Through it all, no matter what I have to go through in life, I want to be happy anyway. I'm not putting my happiness off for nothing. I just don't want to. So I know a lot of people you had to come to that place in your life to choose happiness every single day. And Thomas, I'm not going to wait to be happy. I want to be happy today. Like, I want to be happy today. And there's nothing that's stopping you from making that decision in your life but you. If you are not making a conscious decision in your life to be happy every day, then there's nothing that anything or anyone else can do to change that unless you allow yourself to make that change for yourself. So yes, your happiness is more obtainable than you realize. It is like literally right in the palm of your hands. You're prolonging your own happiness. So be kind to others. Let's talk about some ways that so the best way to find happiness is to pursue your happiness indirectly. So sometimes we can like kind of try to go straight at happiness, like this is what I think is going to take for me to be happy, and it's like, you're never catching it. Like you're in a rat race and you're going after it and you're never catching it, you're never touching it, and it seems like happiness is running away from you. So this is what I came across during my study: pursue happiness indirectly. So, and by that I mean be kind to others. So, being kind to someone else can make you happy. So that's not really, it's focusing on your own happiness, but indirectly focusing on your own happiness. You're going to feel good about yourself, and in turn, it's going to make you happy the kinder you are to others. So learn new things. I love learning new things on a regular basis. Education is happiness to me. I love learning new things in different ways, and just like about anything, about religion, about science, about earth, about philosophy, about humans, about food, about health. I just love learning new things anyway. So pick something. I don't know, pick a trade, pick something, and you can literally take your focus off of whatever thing that is coming in the way of your happiness, and you can focus on this new thing that you are doing to make yourself happy. We're talking about indirectly pursuing happiness. So making others happy, learning something new, practicing gratitude, and exercise. Practicing gratitude is a sure way of making yourself happy. It brings you joy when you learn how to express gratitude on a regular basis. And I spoke about exercise, how scientists link happiness, with exercise. So if you want to be happier, do some exercise. So your job is to create happiness for yourself. That is not anyone else's responsibility. It just isn't. Your job is to create happiness for yourself. If you don't do it for yourself, newsflash, you're just not going to be a very happy individual. And that is a choice that you are making for yourself. If you are not ensuring your own happiness, then you are just not going to be a very happy individual. So that is your personal responsibility to yourself, is to create happiness for yourself. It is not going to create itself. You have to form it in some way, fashion, form, or another. What is it going to take to create happiness for yourself? So you got to put in the work. So oftentimes we want these things. We want. We want this, we want that, we want all of these things. But a lot of times we are not willing to put in the work to ensure these things for ourselves. It feels good to be happy. And that is just a known fact. You can ask anybody, ask your auntie, ask your mama. For the people out here that are not so happy, is happiness overrated? No. Happiness is not overrated. Like, happiness is a place where everybody should go and visit and stay there for a long time because it feels good there. It feels good to be happy. It just does. So some people, it's hard for them to accept happiness in their life because they have allowed themselves to become accustomed to misery. And if it's not sadness or associated with misery or negative emotions, it's kind of alien to them. Like, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's happiness. It's just happiness. Ain't no strings attached to it. Ain't nobody asking you for nothing or nothing. It is just pure happiness. And it is hard to accept happiness in your life for certain individuals because we have become so used to these negative emotions, and we can't just accept happiness for what it is. It's just happiness. It's just, it might feel different because you've been going through for so long and you think like just the enemy just had it out for you. And I'm just the type of person that got to go through all this stuff. No, you don't. Happiness is for everybody. It's enough of it to go around for everybody to get their equal portion of happiness. Do some people have way more happiness than others? Yes, because the people that have more happiness than others are those who are willing to work for, open themselves up, and accept happiness into their lives. Everybody is not willing to do that. Everybody is not willing to work for it. Everybody is not willing to open themselves up to it. Everybody is not willing to do it, to accept the happiness into their life. They think there's something attached to it when it's not. Ain't nobody worry about you. Like, if it's time for you to be happy. It's your season. Like, it is. You done been through long enough. Don't you think? Like, it's time for you to accept happiness into your life. And still, it's so hard for people to accept happiness into their lives. So don't be that person. Don't be that person that turns down happiness because it's just maybe something that you're not used to accepting in your life on the regular basis. Yes, it does feel good to be happy, and everyone deserves to be happy as well. Even the people who have done you wrong, your enemies, or the people that you are holding grudges against, or whatever. Everyone deserves to be happy. People are not perfect. We all deserve to be forgiven. We all deserve to treat each other with love and with compassion and with kindness. And we all deserve to be happy. That's everybody. That's everybody. That's the rapist. That's the murderer. That's the liar. That's the thief. That's the manipulator. That's all of us. We deserve to be happy. And it's your personal responsibility to overcome the things that you need to overcome, to forgive yourself, to work on yourself, to make yourself a better person. Don't let nobody fool you into believing that you don't deserve to be happy because of what you did in your past and all this type of stuff. Yes, you, the person that have made the mistakes, that didn't make the wise decisions, that had things to work on, or room to grow, and all of those type of things, the imperfect person. So that includes everybody. The preacher and the leader and the teacher and the professor and all of us. All of us, we all have work to do. None of us are perfect, and no matter the amounts or the capacity of the mistakes that you have made in your life, you deserve to be happy anyway. That ain't me, that's God. Because that's the kind of God that we serve. He already forgave you. So it don't matter if they want to keep talking about what you did in your past. Oh, trust me. I know. Let them talk about what you did in your past and the mistakes that you made, and you don't know what type of person that you is, and they want everybody to hate you because they hate you and all this type of stuff. You still deserve to be happy. Let God judge you for the mistakes that you did in your life. You repent of your sins and you work on yourself and you change yourself for the better, and we all have room to grow and learn from our mistakes in life and all of that. And while you are growing and learning, make room in your life for happiness. You can still be happy through this journey along the way, no matter how many mistakes that you have made in your life. I don't know who needed to hear that. Me! Somebody needed to hear that, because we can make excuses for why we feel like we don't deserve to be happy. We can get in the way of our own happiness. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop getting in the way of our own happiness. Yes, you deserve to be happy, not tomorrow, not when you retire, not 5 years from now, not when you become rich, not when you get married. You deserve to be happy today. You deserve to be happy now, through your mistakes, through your work, through your trials, through your sickness, through your errors, through your work that you have to do on yourself. You deserve to be happy now while you wait on God, while you wait on your blessings, while you work on yourself. You can still be happy. And you can be happy now. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't or make you feel like you don't deserve to. Because while they talking to you, they can be talking about them on their own selves. So I'm going to ask you a few questions today. Are you happy? Are you happy? Answer that question as transparent as you could possibly. Like, be honest with yourself, to thine own self. Be true. You can lie to everybody or take the mask off. It's just me and you. And I can't even see you because you on the other side of the camera. You can see me, but I can't see you. Take the mask off and answer that question. Are you happy right now? Are you happy? Answer that question. Honestly, for myself, I am. I am very happy. Even despite I've been through some rough things this year, I have had some happy times, and I have had some obstacles that I had to struggle through this year. And even through the things that I had to, the hurdles that I had to jump over this year, and we are at the end of 2024, I have had more good times this year than I have had bad times. And on top of that, someone was asking me, like, how can you still be happy through everything that you have to go through? Because I work on my happiness on a regular basis. These are things that I put effort into on the regular basis. So when I am approached with hard times, when the enemy tries to come against my health or against my body or against my finances, or I have to mourn the loss of a loved one, or whatever that I have to go through in life, I can depend on, number one, I can depend on God. And I find happiness in that, in knowing that I have a God that I can depend on. And I have worked on my happiness over the years. I have worked on my happiness through my trials, through my mistakes, through my heartache, through my addiction, through my motherhood, through everything that I had to go through. I have worked on these things. So yes, I am happy today. I am very happy, considering the series of things that I had to grow throughout my life. I probably shouldn't be. I probably should be dead and gone. They probably should be telling y'all my story I should be telling my story from the other side of the grave if the enemy had his way in my life. But no, I am very, very extremely happy today. Just thinking about my life overall and the things that I had to grow through and where I am right now. The thought of it makes me happy. So yes, I am happy. And it's okay if you are not in that place in your life right now where you can't honestly say that you are happy. That's fine. Everyone is not in a place where they are happy right now. Everyone has not gotten in the habit of prioritizing their happiness over the years. Some people have gotten in the habit of making other people happy and have not done the necessary work that it takes to make them own selves happy. So yes, it takes work. And if you have not been putting in the work, of course, if you want to be honest with yourself, you are going to honestly say, no, I am not in a happy place in my life right now. Do you want to be? Everyone should want to be. But if you aren't, then just say you aren't. If you are in a happy place in your life right now, then that's a blessing. That means that you have been focusing on your happiness. And we all should focus on our happiness. So that was just my first question. Are you happy right now? My second question is, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? What makes me happy? Oh my gosh. So many things make me happy. I love to cook. I love to feed people. Those type of things make me happy. I love to encourage people. My children make me happy. Doing things for my health and my body, and focusing on my future and my life, and striving towards my goals and things that I want to see my future look like, and me coming closer to the things that I want for myself and my future. That makes me happy. My mate makes me happy. Yes, so many things makes me happy. God makes me happy. I know without God none of these things would be possible. So yeah, think about that for yourself. Like, what makes you happy? And such an important question, because if we knew what makes us happy, then maybe we would be doing more of it. If we knew what makes us happy, then maybe we would be doing more of it. So think about that. What makes you happy? Are you happy? And what makes you happy? And what does happiness look like for you? If you had to put a picture on it to reach your ultimate goal of happiness, what would that look like for you? So you had to think about that for yourself. Like, what are you striving towards? Like, what do you want to see your picture of happiness look like? Your painting of happiness, your masterpiece, your personal masterpiece of your life. If it was summed up on a canvas, like, what would it look like? What would happiness look like for you, for your life? And these are things that you want for yourself. That's so personal. That's very personal. Like, when you think about the thing that makes you happy, and you will know where to begin to strive towards your happiness if you can picture your happiness in your own mind. So kind of do that for yourself. Imagination is everything. Let's imagine just for a moment. Close your eyes, just like clear your mind, take a deep breath, and think about the picture of happiness for yourself. What does that look like for you? Wow, it kind of made me emotional a little bit, because even in that moment, I felt it. Like, yeah, I just felt it. I really did. Like, imagination is everything. It plays such a vital role in success. And if you want to strive closer towards your happiness, then that's a good way of being closer to where you want to be, is using your imagination to kind of picture where you want to be in life. And that felt good. I don't know if you allowed yourself to do that just now or not, but it felt good to me because I was there. I was there, and I put myself in the presence of it, and I felt it, and it felt nice. Not that I am not happy right now, but I know that there is more happiness out there waiting for me. So if you can kind of imagine it and what it looks like, then maybe you can kind of aim towards it. So I guess that was the whole purpose of that little exercise. If you can imagine what your own personal happiness looks like. So it's never too late to find happiness, and it's just not. Even for those of us who think that our happy days are over, I am here to tell you that your happy days are not over, and that it is not too late to find happiness for yourself. It's never too late. As long as God wakes you up every day, He allows you to have air in your lungs, you have another opportunity to create happiness for yourself. One more question. What would make you happy right now? So what would make you happy right now? Don't say $1,000,000 or, something like just so superficial. I don't know. It's not going to come externally. And I cannot express that enough. Your happiness is going to be something that you are going to find from within yourself. So what would make you happy right now? So, I don't know. Maybe that's something that I have to think about for myself. I always love being in the presence of my children. I guess maybe the majority of my children are adults, so it's just like so hard and rare to get them all in one place at one time. So maybe that's something that will make me happy right now. Maybe if all of my kids walk through the door right now and surprise me, like, "Hey, Mom, it's Mom and Kids Day." I don't know. Yeah, that would definitely make me happy right now. So I don't know. What would make you happy right now? Like, what's one thing that is sure to just bring you a overwhelming feeling of pure happiness over your whole life right now? So there are three types of happiness: instant instant happiness, passion happiness, and purpose happiness. Of course, instant happiness is not going to stick around for very long, because if it comes quickly, then it will go quickly. So a lot of us go after instant happiness, or they call it instant gratification, which, like I said, doesn't stick around very long. Passion happiness is something that you have to work a little bit more hard towards and put yourself into, which hence the word passion. When you have a passion for something, you are going to put your whole soul into, you just doing that thing. And purpose happiness is going to be a happiness that is going to probably bring you that overwhelming sense of happiness probably for the rest of your life. So we have to be mindful of the types of happiness that we pursue in our life. Some people are okay with pursuing instant happiness. Come and go, that come and go, that come and go, that come and go happiness. Listen, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge you. I am not here to judge you, but if you are the type of person that is okay with that instant happiness, I believe that's where a lot of misery and dissatisfaction in life comes from: instant gratification. Because after that momentary happiness, you are left with that emptiness, and you are still searching for the next thing that's going to make you happy, and fulfill that instant happiness. So I believe instant happiness is never a good way to pursue your happiness, because it's not going to stick around for long, and you will be in the rat race of happiness, always chasing it and never holding on to it. You might catch it momentarily, but just as quick as you caught it, it will be gone. So passion happiness and purpose happiness are the best ways to kind of pursue your happiness. If you want your happiness to stay around for a long time, you want to go after passion and purpose. So choose to be happy. Excuse me. Choose to be happy under any and every women. Choose to be happy under any circumstance. Every moment is a gift. Your next moment might be your last, and no one wants to leave here unhappy. So that is something that I know a lot of people are not used to learning how to be happy under different circumstances. We can allow the circumstances of our life to dictate whether we are happy or whether we are not happy. And we should learn how to be happy under any circumstance. We should learn how to be happy under every circumstance, even if that circumstance might knock you off of your feet for a second. Don't stay there long. Get back up on your feet and find your happiness no matter what your circumstances might be, because then you might find yourself looking for happiness in circumstances, and happiness shouldn't be circumstantial. It just shouldn't. We should learn how to make happiness a part of our everyday life. We don't know how long we have here on this earth, and a lot of people take our time. I'm include myself in this. A lot of people, we take our time as humans, we take our time for granted, and we think that, we can be happy tomorrow. I can't be happy today, so I'll be happy tomorrow. What if you don't see tomorrow? What if tomorrow never happens for you? So then you're just living your life as an unhappy individual. So you're going to live as an unhappy individual, and most likely you will leave this earth as a unhappy individual. So I don't want that to be the case with me, and I don't want that to be the case with you as well. So that is how I ended my message on happiness. Well, I think I just got a little bit happier. I don't know how that made you feel, but I'm so glad that I did that message on happiness, especially at the end of 2024. I don't know what God has in store for me to relay a message on. I'm on this streak of feel good messages, and even just thinking about my past few months, the things that God has allowed me to overcome these past few months were not very easy. And you might look at me like, girl, you still going through. How you going to sit here and talk to us about being happy and you going through? Because that's a perfect way to incorporate happiness in your life, even if you're going through. And that just proves the point of my last PowerPoint, that happiness should not be circumstantial, that you should be happy under any circumstances, whether you have to go through it in your finances and your health and your family and your life, whatever you have to go through. You should make the conscious decision to want to be happy every single day, no matter what it is you have to face on the regular basis. We all have to face life, and we all have to go through, but we should all choose to be happy every single day anyway. So gosh, that blessed me. It really did. So it makes me want to focus more on my happiness. Like, what can I do to focus more on my happiness? I am so glad that God placed it in my heart to deliver this message on happiness today, especially coming off of this sickness. I believe God allows me to go through certain things for a reason, just so I can be able to tell my testimony, how I made it through. I don't know. I don't know why God does the things that he do, and I try not to question him, and I try not to question it. I am just grateful to be here, to be able to tell my story, to be able to say that I have made it through the things that I have made it through, and to shed a little bit of light on someone else's situation. You might think your situation is too tough for you to make it through, and I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter what you are going through. There is happiness out there that that is waiting for you. So I'm going to leave you guys with a quote and an affirmation, and I am going to let y'all boogie yoogie y'all a little Saturday night away, whatever you choose to do on this Saturday. But I'm glad that you are here sharing it with me. Big shout out to my live audience. Thank you so much for being present here in this moment. I really hope that this message on happiness blessed you in a certain way that you need to be blessed. So my quote is from a man named Thich Nhat Hanh, and he was a Vietnamese peace activist, and this is what Mr. Nhan said: "There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So sometimes we think it is a destination that we have to arrive at, and it's not the destination, it's all in the journey. So take the path of happiness, and you will arrive at happiness, but you should be happy on your way to happiness. I don't know how much sense that makes to you, but I love it. I love it. He said there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. We have to learn how to enjoy the journey, have peace in the journey, have happiness in the journey. Our life should be full of whatever we want it to be full of, and not just waiting for us to get to that place in order for us to receive whatever we believe that we are going after in life. You don't know what you might find along the way during this journey. So happiness is the way. I love that quote so much. And my affirmation that I'm going to leave you guys with is, I choose happiness every day. Say that to yourself, and I do. I'm so glad I made that the affirmation for today, because that is my reality. I choose happiness every single day. And let me just add this: if there is someone that think that they can rise up to disturb your peace or disturb your happiness, we have to eliminate certain people and things out of our life to prioritize our happiness. So don't be so busy holding on to something that we think that we are obligated to hold on to, and it's getting in the way of your happiness. Everybody can't go. Everything can't go. We have to drop certain habits. We have to drop certain people. We have to drop certain negativities, certain negative ways. We have to drop some of our old ways and our old habits, and we have to begin to pick up new ways and new habits. Listen, it's almost 2025. I'm trying to help somebody. Going to get help today. Somebody is going to get the help that they've been waiting for, marching up into this new year. Because everything and everybody cannot go. You have to make a conscious decision in your own mind, in your sober mind, in your clear thinking mind. Not when you're mad, not when you're hungry, not when you're hot, none of that. Make a conscious decision in your mind that I want to be happy, and I have to make certain decisions in my life to ensure a decent sense of happiness for myself. So do that for yourself, and choose happiness. Choose happiness for today. You want happiness to choose you, you have to choose it as well. So that is how I ended my message, you guys. Thank you so much for your presence here, whether you view this message now or view it later. Thank you for every view, every like, every comment, every share. Tell somebody who has not been so happy lately to watch this message on happiness. If there's someone that you love and care about, and you feel like that you want to see them become a little happier, and you're tired of that dark cloud kind of shadowing over their lives, tell them to watch this message on happiness. It might do something for somebody. If you love them enough, then you would encourage them to watch this message on happiness. Real quick before I go, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, that is True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube. If you have already subscribed, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. My books are still available and on sale that on Amazon. That is True Value Knowing Your Worth. That is my first book, Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures, Feed Your Soul. That is your personal guide to health and wellness for those of you who want to focus on health and fitness goals coming into the new year and religiously, and that is taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. You can buy your virtual copy. You can buy your paperback copy. You can go look up my author's page, which is under my name, Sakira Bay, on Amazon and check out those books. But in the meantime, I love y'all. God bless you. Go ahead and be happy today. Do what makes you happy. Think about some of the things that I said in this message today. Are you happy right now? What is it going to take for you to become happier tomorrow than you were on yesterday? What is it going to take for you to permanently allow happiness to be a part of your life? What is it going to take for you to not continue to put off your own happiness for the sake of someone else's happiness? You have sacrificed your happiness long enough, and it is time for you to be happy. So let's look at that coming into this New Year's. In the meantime, look out for more positive, motivational life lessons. Go to my YouTube channel, look out for some short, power-packed motivational messages, some life lessons, and continue to support your girl in the ways that you have been supporting me. Your support is so greatly appreciated. Wait a minute, before I go, my son is going to be 23 years old tomorrow. I have never been more proud of anyone in my entire life. My son amazes me. I am so grateful for his life. His father passed away in May of this year. He took it like a champ. He have overcame so many obstacles out of all of my children. He is the most resilient. He have fought against every attack that the enemy had tried to rise up to come against his life. He is headstrong. He is physically strong. I know no other 23-year-old I have never known in my entire life like my son, Karan Bay. Big shout out to you. Happy birthday, Karan. I love you. I hope this 23rd birthday is the best birthday yet, with many more blessed, happy years to come. I am so proud of you. Continue to do your thing. God bless you, and I love you. That is a happy birthday shout out to my son, who will be 23 years old in the matter of hours. So God bless him. So I thank you all so much for everything, every way that you have supported me. Continue to support if you will. God bless you. In the meantime, you guys continue to stay blessed.